Hey, Jey The Nitewing. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, Phoenix? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, you know. How you been?
Staying inside, enjoying the company of a bunch of little rugrats.
Oh, that sounds lovely, though. How you coping? You can't leave the house. How's your daddy duties coming
Man,
along?
man, the daddy duties are like on 110 right now. Like, these kids they know how to
Good.
work your
That is
nerves and,
good.
like,
That's what I like to hear. Do some work. It's all good,
man, they
though.
work in my nerves like it's essential. Hey, sit down.
It's
Sit
all
down.
good, though, man. Do you know what? It's been a minute since we last spoke. Last time was when I interviewed you last year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It's been a minute. How
might
you
have been
been?
over a
What's
year.
been happening since we
Nah,
spoke
I
last?
think yes, man. Since last year.
Yeah, it was last year I interviewed you. At some point last year, I can't even remember. At some point though, I remember.
Yeah, shit, all kinds of shit.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. You're on the Ultimate Madness. Are you? Hold on a minute. Are you
Yeah,
going against Real Sick, right?
yeah. Yeah, I think y'all are familiar with him over there on stage, right?
Yeah, Real Sick's nice. I like Real Sick. You know what I'm saying?
Did you happen to see him? Did you see him live when he battled Maverick?
No, I didn't. I would have loved to, but I didn't though. But I watched his stuff. I had an interview with him as well. He's unique. I like the way he raps. What do you think of him?
He's a great rapper, I think.
Yeah.
At first, I was kind of my first exposure to him was I think the Maverick battle in his first PG, and
Yeah.
I didn't really have too much of an impression on him. I kind of was underestimating him, but the fans kind of let me know that I need to take a second look.
That's a fact. You
Yeah,
do.
after taking a second look, I really like seeing all the qualities that put him in the position that he's in right now. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, cause at first it was just like, I was looking at him like, okay, he's just another rapper with bars. Like,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily going to be a walk in the park, but I know what to do.
Yeah.
But then, like, after hearing people's breakdowns of like not only his style, but how he can create a lot of difficulty for someone like me. After hearing a whole lot of that, I was like, maybe I need to take a second look. And after taking a second look, I see where people are coming from.
Definitely. You can't
Yeah.
just underestimate him, I guess. So what do you think is your?
Yeah, you can't really underestimate anybody.
Well, yeah.
Like in my position, you're not really supposed to underestimate anybody that fans are willing to see you in front of. So that was a mistake that I'm glad I had time to correct before touching the stage.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you feel like? What do you feel is like your Achilles heel in battle rap? So do you have one?
My only Achilles heel is myself. There's never been a battle where I've lost and felt like there wasn't something I could have done to take it. You know what I mean? Like day of. I'd say one close exception would be my battle with Emerson Kennedy. That would be one battle for me where I felt like there was nothing at that point in time that I could have done.
Yeah.
I was going to lose that battle. He was coming in there and he was like just punching my head off. Like there was nothing I could have done at that time.
Do you feel like you was underprepared or what?
Win that battle that day.
Say that again?
Huh?
No, sorry, carry on.
I'm saying the very next day after that battle, like I could have, done something to, beat him that day. But he's the kind of battler that as I get better, he gets better too. Like as we progress, there's certain battlers that kind of just float, that kind of just coast on a certain wavelength. But me and Emerson Kennedy, we're the type of battlers that are constant students. So, like, maybe at this point in time, I could beat that Emerson Kennedy that day. But beat Emerson Kennedy today, yeah, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
Like, cause we're constantly evolving.
So would you feel like to date he was your most difficult challenge?
As far as like externally, yes. My most difficult challenge has been myself.
Okay.
But if we're talking about externally, like outside of myself, yeah, I'd say he's the most difficult opponent I've ever had to battle.
Okay. So why do you feel like you are your most difficult? You know, you're your own Achilles heel. What is it about your character that makes you feel like that?
Well, mainly it's mainly foresight for me. Like, there's a lot of things that like trip me up as I go on, and they're the kind of things that like you would think I would consider, but I'm like one of those individuals. Like, I'm so you know how people like say there's that expression like you're standing so close to the tree that you can't see the forest.
Yeah.
For me, it's like the opposite. For me, I'm like looking at the entire forest, but I'm not considering the tree in front of me. Like, I'm like as if I was trying to like run through a forest. Like, let's say I'm running a marathon or something. And I'm trying to sprint through the forest. Like, I'm so busy looking at the map of how to get out of the forest, I don't see the tree right in front of me that I'm about to run right into.
Okay, I understand, but
yeah, like.
But why do you feel?
So an example of that would be when I battled Reaper Rail.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was before or after our last interview, but I'll start there. So when I battled Reaper Rail, mainly what I'm thinking about is just like what it takes to beat him, and like the setting, and what it's gonna mean like afterwards, and this and that. And I don't fully consider like how important it is for me to like make sure that I have my rounds fully memorized until like the week of. And that's kind of one of those things where it's like in that situation it was like I was kind of counting my eggs before they hatched. And that's kind of what like fucked me up with that battle. I was also experimenting with something with like the whole Mad King persona. Like, I was experimenting with that on that battle. Like, I wanted to see like how people would receive certain elements of the Mad King. But all these things like was not to be like, you can't consider all of that shit and then not put effort towards memorizing your round. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, just, like literally looking
priorities.
At like. So with that battle, that's what happened. And then with Ace Mean, I want to say it was actually I was actually kind of like just caught off guard with that one. Like, not caught off guard with the battle per se, but like I didn't understand how the pressure of that battle would affect me in the moment of. Like, and I hadn't prepared for that. Like, the main thing that got me to like fuck up my rounds with Ace was just being in the moment and then feeling like I was about to make history and all that shit. And like this like knowing how heavy my rounds were, and like just how likely it is that Ace is going to come with some material that's going to hit just as hard. So basically the way it was looking to me like was, because I had just got done battling Emerson Kennedy, and in that battle, we had a fucking phenomenal Emerson Kennedy and an okay Jey The Nitewing. So, but that was enough to make it a classic battle on the app, according to a lot of people who've watched it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people consider that like a classic app battle.
Yeah, and, definitely.
So what I was feeling like me and Ace was gonna be was like if Jey was on the same level as Emerson Kennedy that night. Like, and they both just like, you know, went full force, like, towards each other. So, like, but the thing that I wasn't, like, realizing was, like how much pressure that was going to put on me in that moment. Okay. And I wasn't ready for that. Yeah. Like, that all of that shit hitting me, it just hit me at the wrong time. Like, it hit me while I was rapping. Yeah. Like, yeah, I fucked up my second and my third, but that shit was fucking with me from the very first round. Like that shit was in my head, like, like every time I spit a bar, it was like, I was trying to, like, calm my nerve focus. Like, that shit was, like, rattling me like a motherfucker. Damn. And, yeah, like, it was just, because it was looking, everything looked, and the shit that I had planned in my third, like, it was the type of shit that I've never planned before in a battle. Like, I'm saving it still.
Yeah, don't no spoilers. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was like the type of shit that, like, I don't do. It was like out of my element. But I just knew if I executed it properly, this was gonna be an amazing fucking battle. Like, this was gonna be one of those ones that, like, you know, just like stood the test of time. But it's not the right shit to have in your mind. The fucking, like, in the middle of the fucking round. Like,
yeah. That's true. You're thinking too much. Too much. Yeah, you have too much on your mind. You gotta be clear-headed when you're battling and prepared, ideally. Do you know what I mean? Why'd you leave it till the last week to memorize your stuff? Did you say you did that?
For Reaper Rail?
Yeah, no. In general, do you wait till the last week to, like, memorize things?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Generally, if I'm trying to memorize something the week of, to a Reaper Rail, that's what I did.
Okay.
And that was just, you know, that was just a mistake. But usually, I start memorizing my shit, like, kind of at the same time as I'm writing it. But the thing is, like, I have a tendency to change what I'm writing consistently, like, all the fucking time. So, when it comes to the week of, if I'm trying to memorize something, it's something that I added. Like, so it would probably be like 4 or 5, maybe 6 bars that I'm trying to memorize because I added that.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, majority of the time, it's not really a memorization thing that slips me up. With Reaper Rail, that's what it was. But like with Riggs and with Ace, it was like it was more just like not being in the right mindset, not being in the right focus that, you know, needed to execute.
Yeah.
Because there was, and the thing about it is, like, this is kind of like why the Mad King, I feel like, is absolutely necessary. It's because there's a common denominator to my best performances. Mad Face, Emerson Kennedy, my battle with Fix and my battle with real name Brandon. There was, like, not necessarily a chip on my shoulder, but there was no like, the fact that I couldn't lose. Like, I had it in my head that I can't lose this, and that gave a certain sense of not clarity. Yeah, like, they gave a certain sense of clarity and peace of mind. Like, there is no losing, there is no fucking up, there's nothing. There is just this. Like, especially when I battled Mad Face. When I battled Mad Face, I just lost the whole Northwest. I just lost a homie, and you know, we were still grief stricken with that. So the way I looked at it was this battle, I'm, like, dedicating to him. So there was no losing. There was no fucking up. Yeah. It's kind of like a soldier that's, like, you know, giving orders. Like, you're giving the orders. You don't got time to be, like, you know, struggling morally with the orders and none of that. It's just
you just have to do it. Yeah, I understand. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that old saying. I think it was on a Tupac song or something, but, like, basically take comfort in the fact that you had no choice, and that was what I was able to do with those battles.
I like that.
Like, there was no choice. Like, and the Mad King is kind of like personification of that. Like, like he's just an animal. Like, there's nothing about him that, like, you know, can be stopped. He's
fearless. Yeah. I like that. Definitely, Mad King. So, Jey The Nitewing. Apart from you, who do you want to win the Ultimate Madness event tournament?
Like, who do I see winning, or who would I like to win?
Who do you see winning? I guess that's better.
Honestly, there's a lot of them I could see.
All right, fine. Before you answer that, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just ask you. Man, what have I done? Hold on. I'm gonna call out the battles, and then you tell me how you think it's gonna go. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, let me just find it. I had it a minute ago, and then I moved it. Hold on a second.
I think I got it memorized. I can just go off memory if you want.
Okay. So who's the first? Hold on. Let me call them out for you because I got them here. I got it. Just give me a second. I'm almost there. Alright. So Kid Chaos versus Lou Castro.
So that's an interesting battle because it's a bit of a style clash. I'd say Castro is more of a puncher. Chaos is more of a lyrical individual. But the thing that I think people don't realize is they both kind of punch at the same level, like when they punch.
So
as far as reaction.
Who do you think
they get the same kind of reaction, but I feel like Chaos punches at that high level more frequently.
Okay.
So I'm kind of predicting Chaos to come on top of that.
Alright.
But Castro strikes me as the kind of individual though that rises to the occasion and dedicates 110% to. He seems like he fits the underdog title well. So if Castro comes out on top of this, he's damn near unstoppable afterwards.
Yeah.
Now, but the thing is, if he comes up on top with that battle, he's no longer an underdog. He's more like a people's champion. So we'll see how he how he battles once he has the juice. Because if he beats Chaos, he's got the juice.
Definitely. Alright, so the next battle is... Oh, go on.
I was just going to say, but if I had to put my money on somebody, I feel like Chaos is going to be victorious on that one.
Okay, cool. Next one is Gunpowder Pat versus Rubando.
This is an interesting one. Depends on so from the Rubando we've seen and the Gunpowder Pat we've seen, I got Rubando taking it because of the setting and the type of setup that this tournament is. But I feel like creativity-wise, Pat's ceiling is a little bit higher. So it really depends on how much dedication Pat puts towards this. I think Rubando's thing that will get him eventually is that he's got to step that pen up. That pen has got to be a little more serious. He's got the eye. He's got the eye to be able to see, to be able to create like very creative material.
Yeah.
But it's too far in between. Like there's not enough of those moments. Like he'll have a lot of dry spots. So but I feel like even though he has a lot of dry moments, Pat has some as well.
Yeah.
Especially since his first PG with what's his name? Skates. I don't know if that was his first, but like that was like around his first. Like every battle since Skates has kind of like not lived up to that battle. So So with that being said, I would have to choose Bando in that one.
Okay.
But it really depends on what kind of determination we get from Pat.
Okay. So the next battle is Squeako versus Joanna.
So the way I look at that battle is, you got two individuals that kind of got the same weaponry, but I'd say what it comes down to is the setting and which style adapts more to the setting. I'd say it also comes down to creativity, and I think creativity-wise, your honor ceiling's a little higher. But as far as the setting goes, I think Squeako's going to be a little more in the advantage than your honor.
So who you got?
Mainly because Squeako can just get to it. He doesn't really need to set up in order to in order to be comedic or relatable. Like, Squeako doesn't really need to set up too much. Your honor kind of needs a little bit of setup. He needs a little bit of help building shit up, But at the same time, your honor is very multifaceted, and I think he can adjust.
Yeah.
So if I had to put my money on someone, I think the safe bet is Squeako, but I'd put my money on your honor just because I'm a risk taker.
Alright. I won't be going gambling with you.
I'm telling you,
going back gambling with you then.
I just made $100 on Robinhood when everybody was talking about selling AMC. Like, if you got AMC stock, sell that shit because they talking about getting bankrupt.
Okay.
And I bought like 30 shares in AMC because everybody was selling, and then I just made $100 off of that.
That's so dope, man. I saw some adverts buy these shares. Man, do you know what I should have done? I had an opportunity to buy Bitcoins like 10 years ago. They were selling them dead cheap. Like, I'm talking like £20 or £30 for one Bitcoin. And I was like, man, £30? No. Man, I fucked up big time. But yeah, alright. So the next battle is Fonz versus Jay Kruger.
So that battle, that's probably one of the clear battles for me. And I feel like, and it's not because of ability, like a difference in ability. It's just, it's really like reception. I feel like Jay Kruger will be receptive a lot more easily than Fonz. Fonz kind of goes over people's heads. A lot of his material, it needs to be caught on footage, but this is a judged battle, so it's in the building. I feel like Jay Kruger is much more relatable in the building and much more impactful from a short distance. You know what I mean? Like, in a short distance kind of battle, like this has got Jay Kruger written all over it.
Okay. I feel like I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. Alright.
He might lose on the footage. And that's another thing. Like, that might be the battle that everyone's mad the most about. Because Fonz might like take it on footage, but I think in the building, I got Kruger like clearly winning that.
Okay, dope. Okay, so the next one is Easy the Block Captain versus Don Marino.
So, Don Marino, this one's hard for me because I've heard Don Marino's rounds. So, like, it's hard to not be biased. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think Easy has to surprise us. It's impossible for me to not be biased because I've already heard Don Marino's rounds, and they seem, like very difficult rounds to, surpass. And I'm also like motivating Don to make them even stronger. So, like, it's impossible for me to not be biased with that battle. I got Don Marino taking it.
Okay, Don Marino, you said, yeah? Taking the battle. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, got you. So the next battle is Brooklyn Hand versus Big Han.
I'd say Brooklyn Hand's clear, and that's no slight to Big Hand. It's just,
yeah, is what it is.
The only way I can see see Big Hand taking that is if Brooklyn Hands doesn't take this seriously, and he doesn't, perform the way he should. But Brooklyn Hands, as far as like execution, as far as writing ability, and as far as like believability, is miles above a lot of people. So, I don't think
Brooklyn,
I don't think a fully prepared Brooklyn Hands can lose.
That's dope.
To a lot of people in this tournament.
Got you. Alright, so the final battle is Bad News versus Ace Amin.
It's gonna be a lot of energy.
I'm excited for this battle. I'm excited for this one, definitely.
Yeah, I think in the building that battle's gonna be battle of the night. But I think Ace will clearly take it because Ace is one of those students. He's one of those guys that like doesn't, he doesn't believe the hype, even if the hype is on his side. He's like one of those guys that's constantly like sharpening the steel and just trying to get better. He's looking at Bad News as if he's K-Rock or, Calico. Like he's not.
So ain't gonna play with him. Yeah. I like Ace Amin. I like Ace. I think Ace is nice. I think he's a great rider. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited for this battle. I like Bad News too. So this is gonna be a good one. Definitely.
The thing about Bad News though is, his pen isn't necessarily on the level that it should be.
Okay.
In order to beat somebody like Ace Amin.
Ace Amin. This is what I'm trying to say. I feel like Ace Amin has a nice pen. He's pen heavy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah.
Absolutely. Not just pen heavy, but the way he executes is also like, he's real vicious. He knows how to.
Yeah, I love it. Violent raps, violent
he knows
poetry.
How to dig.
Yeah.
Like it's like a stabbing effect. Like he stabs you and then he starts like twisting the blade, like with his delivery. Like he really knows how to. He really knows how to kill. And
I agree.
But with Bad News, he has great performance, like great energy.
Definitely.
But his pen is like from what I've seen, his pen is not on the level that can beat Ace Amin. And that's a big deciding factor for me. And I feel like I have my suspicions as to why that is. And that's why I say like it's a big factor that Ace is a student type of battler because I suspect that Bad News has that kind of pen because he's like surrounded by people that tell him it's good enough, and he doesn't feel that his pen is inferior to certain battlers or at this level that he's at, and that hurts. You know what I mean? Like that hurts you. It cripples you.
Yeah. When
you feel like you don't necessarily need to progress, but that's just a suspicion. That's just my theory based off of like interviews and things I've seen and heard him say. Like it's not really. That might not be the case. He might be a student just as much as me, Ace, Emerson Kennedy. But just something
from your observations,
or maybe maybe his pen is about to be on that level when we see him next. Like,
he might turn up. You never know. So I'm definitely excited though.
If his pen steps up to that level, and Ace is, the Ace that I predict I'm seeing, like easily classic. Definitely. But I think even still, even without that,
it's gonna be
pen
good.
Just rises a little bit. Like that's gonna be battle of the night.
I agree. I definitely agree, man. You know what I'm saying? But as
of right now, I got Ace taking that.
Okay, that's dope. You know what, Jay? It's been so lovely catching up with you, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a minute. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Anything you want to tell us? Things to look forward to? How do we find you on social media? Just let us know how to find you and all that.
So I'm mostly on Twitter at Jey The Nitewing. That's my handle. Instagram is the same. And on Facebook is Jehovah King. And that's because somebody was hating and they reported my name when it was Jey The Nitewing on Facebook, so I had to change that shit.
Oh, well, hold on, they reported it. Facebook. What did they do?
Oh no, man! Like just one day, like somebody just reported my name, I guess, and one day like Facebook was like, "Hey, we know this ain't your name," basically.
You know what? Facebook have been doing that. They take the mick, to be honest with you. They want you to like send a picture to log into your account. I'm not on Facebook for that very reason. It's just pointless. It's just like a mass organization collecting information on human beings. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, sorry. Anyway, I always go off on one when it comes to these government stuff.
You don't already know my real name, like. You know my fucking real name, like, you got all these fucking people in your pockets, like, I know good and damn well you can find my name out.
Exactly, but, yeah, it's all good, though, so that's where we find you. Salute. Thank you for the catch-up, man. It's been really nice talking to you, definitely. You know I'm going to be in touch again, 100%.
Absolutely.
Alright?
Yeah, man.
Alright.
And like, you stay safe out there, man. I heard y'all like bad out there.
Yeah, it's bad. Everybody's in the house. No one's going anywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm keeping safe, man. I'm not trying to risk it. People are dropping dead like flies. I'm in my house. Trust me.
Yeah, I was just hearing
eating my chicken wing, watching Netflix. I'm good.
3,800 more deaths out there or something like
that. Man, so many dying.
Crazy.
It's almost just like, oh, another person's dead. You know what I'm saying? It's just, they've built these giant mortuaries and stuff. It's just crazy. The world is just, 2020 has just been the worst so far. Like, what the, But we're alive, so we have to be.
I made a lot of money in 2020.
Well, you're good. You're good, man. But yeah. You gotta stay safe, stay strong, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you make sure you stay safe too, alright?
Alright, yep.
Alright, you take it easy, Jay. I'll talk to you later.
Alright, for sure. I got you.
Alright, bye.